Hi, my name is Sky, and this is in response to an article titled "The Future of Video Games" by Michael Noor of Forbes.com. So he asked the question, how will games and gamers be different a decade from now? Well, the same people playing video games will just be 10 years older. It's a good article, but I think that he's got about half the things right, half the things a little... I'm not sure if he got them wrong on purpose or not, but it's interesting because a lot of this information in the article, it's just topical information of just, this is what is here, this is what is there. And some, and just some interesting, predictions he made. But so he mentions that, okay, Nintendo sold 20.9 million Wii games. Oh, wait, the numbers are showing. Okay, so tracking site VG Charts. And what year is this? So I guess now. But so Nintendo sold 20.9 million Wii game consoles worldwide. Microsoft has sold 16.9 million, and PlayStation 3 9.8 million. I think what he should have included was the number of broken Xbox 360s, or the brick ones, because there was a poll on G4 TV's Attack the Show, and basically about a third of the people polled said that they suffered their Xbox 360 failing on them. And so then he talks about how, like, oh, PlayStation 3 was, like this great overpowered machine for $600, and the Nintendo Wii was like an underpowered, couldn't get the same high definition graphics, and yet the Nintendo outsells the PlayStation. Well, the thing is, I mean, when you look at both consoles, they both had their own niche audiences which bought the games. And so then the author of this article was like, oh, Wii Sports, it's so easy to play. Well, yeah, that's what people have been saying for about the past year. Way to catch up to the everybody else there. Let's see, particularly difficult in the fast-paced world of video games. Well, you do realize, Mr. I'm sorry if I get your name wrong, Mr. Noor, N-O-E-R. So you do realize, Mr. Noor, that it takes like about an average about 3 years for a game to be developed. The big glitz and glam you see, like was the Halo 3, selling like what, $50 million worth of copies and stuff like that. I mean, it's basically outselling even movies on their premiere night. But like the reason why, I mean, that's just like the hype machine, which generates all the interest. And then, because also people know what the gameplay is going to be like. So we played this game, we like it. This is the sequel. Okay, I'll pick that up as well. Let's see. So some of the other things he says here. As the gaming industry matures and becomes more mainstream. So, I mean, when was this article written? Becomes more mainstream. There's several companies involved, like Electronic Arts and Blizzard and other things. I mean, well, like, okay, for one thing, become more mainstream. Wow, World of Warcraft has about 10 million players. That's not mainstream for you? What? Let's see. So, expect the demographics of the average video gamer to change significantly. Well, yeah, that's, I mean, you should have interviewed Adam Sessler from G4 TV's X-Play, who, he said before that the video game industry is the only one where the average consumer age goes up each year. So, let's see. Alright, so middle-aged women to pick up the Xbox 360, but they'll definitely play public game Solitaire, Bejeweled. Well, you're kind of, I hate to say it, Mr. Noor, you're kind of like missing the point. It's accessibility to the material. How easy is it for somebody to get into the material? If you look at pennyarcade.com, one of the creators of that site said that he went to visit his grandmother, and she has a Nintendo dual screen, which he plays crossword and Sudoku on. And it's very easy for her to do. I did the same thing for my mother. It's because they can access it. They can get into it. My father, we're still working on him, but So casual gamers. So shrewd entrepreneurs are already taking this to a new level, offering so-called casual gamers specifically targeted at an older female audience. Winster.com for... Well, yeah, that's something else, is that it's getting to the point that female gamers, they're under the 50% mark, and now they're getting up, more up towards the middle. And, so that's just like one of the things that, any company that doesn't realize, hey, you got to make it accessible for women, they're just shooting themselves in the foot and, denying themselves like half the profit that they could gain, from total sales. That's why like a number of games are having more and more female protagonists, or character creation where you can create a female or male character. Okay, so according to Mr. Noor, the smartest game makers are also thinking outside the screen. Well, okay, and so he mentions force feedback steering wheels, guitar-shaped controllers, and pressure-sensitive dance pads. So he's not including the like the full-on driving chairs, which cost now like $1,000, I think, or is it $1,500? I think it's like $1,000. And then there's the the force feedback control. But some of the other things is that, there's new screens out. Like there's new setups that you can have 3 screens for a more panoramic view. There's even one screen that curves around, which makes for driving and flight simulators, very interesting. Video game graphics will continue to grow richer and more detailed. Well, I think they're hitting about the limit of that, because what I see happen in the video game industry is the new medium will come out. The developers will work with it and basically, okay, how can we make this look better? How can we make this look better? Okay, now we got it looking good. How do we make the gameplay better? So I think what you're seeing now is, so we have the realism. Now we're trying to see, okay, how can we make the experience better? How can we make what the player does more interesting, or more, have more of an impact, or have more control or more influence on the environment that he or she is messing around in. Sony's face flop with the PS3 proves gamers aren't obsessed with high realistic graphics to the extent that game designers are. The thing is, you got to look at numbers of users as well, because apparently a lot of Nintendo Wii buyers are not using their products. It's something that they have, they pull out every once in a while to play at a party, or when they have friends over, but otherwise people aren't playing with video games too much. And with the PS3, something else to realize is that it's continuing to improve and change, and that's, I think we can say that with Microsoft Xbox Live, where there's an online component to your gameplay. What Microsoft has done is they realize, okay, we can basically keep improving the product we have out with online content that you basically just download right to your machine, and it changes the software of it. That's what PlayStation 3 is doing. That's what Nintendo Wii is doing as well. So it's interesting that they're following the example of Xbox with their systems. And with PlayStation 3, the fact that it's a Blu-ray player, and Xbox had the high definition, external player. So, but anyways, that's a whole other thing. Most gamers own characters look like they don't care how the blood spot. Yeah, it's, well, the other thing is that for when Halo 3 came out, the number of people, and you can look at it on the achievements. So the number of people that own Halo 3 and the number of people who have completed Halo 3, the single-player campaign, is very interesting, because that's like, it's something like 42% of the owners have played the campaign. The first day it came out, the people were able to beat it in about 5 hours. So to me, it's all this time is spent making a video game, creating the cinematics, doing the voices, working on the mechanics, all this different stuff. And the video gamers, they don't care. They really don't care about all their production value. As long as the game looks good, as long as they can have fun playing it. So, I don't know. Overall, some interesting ideas here, but I do. I think though that the idea that, okay, this is going to have an influence on real world.